So today we're going to be looking at our Year 3 English lesson today. For week 2, this is our Monday lesson. So we're going to start using a new text this week. This text will be our example text that all of our PowerPoints and our video recordings will be based on. We will still be using the focus text of Curly to the Rescue, but that will be the text that you use to go and do the same activity independently by yourself. So we're going to get started for today's lesson just through reading the text. So today's text is called Pam and Lily. Once there was a mean girl. Her name was Pam. She was big, with messy hair, and she never smiled. At school, she stole. She told lies. She did not do what the teacher said. She hit and kicked the other children. She yelled all day. One day, a new girl came to school. Her name was Lily. Pam did not like Lily and was a bully to her. She took her lunch and books. She hit her when the teacher was not looking. Lily was very sad. She did not know what to do. She asked her mum. Her mum said, "Maybe Pam needs a friend." The next day, Pam took Lily's lunch. Lily said, "Would you like to sit with me? We could share the food." Pam looked at Lily. "What?" she whispered. She did not know what to do. She was confused. She crept back to Lily and gave her lunch back. Pam stood for a little while and then sat at the end of the seat. She gently reached out her hand and Lily gave her some food. Lily smiled. Pam gave a shy smile back. Now, Pam plays at lunchtime. She helps other people and she does what the teacher says. She smiles and laughs. The teacher did not know why Pam was so nice, but Lily did. So that's the end of the story for this week's focus. We'll also be using part of that story for next week in each of our lessons. So this is the activity that you're expected to do in today's lesson. We're going to work through it based on this example text of Pam and Lily together through this PowerPoint or this video recording, and then you're going to go and do the exact same sheet about Curly from Curly to the Rescue. So for the next part of this lesson, it's called a character profile worksheet. So you'll need to follow along with me from this PowerPoint, and we're going to be focusing on the character of Pam from this example story. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go and fill out the top section of that sheet. So you need to put in your character name, the title of the story, and the author. I've put in Education Queensland because this is actually a C2C text that I've used so that I could share it with everybody by printing it or putting it up on our OneNote. So go ahead, do that. Pause this video if you need while you work, and then press play once you're ready to move on. Alright, so for the next section, we're going to actually start going through our text and we're going to do skimming and scanning. So we're going to look for those words that we know are talking about the character Pam, because that's the character we're focusing our sheet on today. So we're going to skim and scan for words we know that are describing our character. As we work through the pages, you can add words into that section on your page, or you can just do it all at the end, whatever suits you. You can add more than those 5 words. There's only spaces for 5, but if you have more to add, you can just scribble them on the side of your page or add them or write them smaller in the box so you can fit more than 1 word in. That is completely up to you. So So as we start looking through the book, we are looking for things about the character of Pam. These might be words that tell us exactly about Pam, maybe some evidence that we find in the text, but we're also going to use what we already know about the way people act to be able to come up with some of these words. So on that page, the first page that I've got displayed there, it says, once there was a mean girl. Her name was Pam. So this tells us that obviously it's talking about Pam in this sentence, and they use the word mean to describe her. She was big with messy hair and she never smiled. So to me, if I see the word she never smiled, I automatically think, oh, maybe she's a cranky person. She's angry all the time. She's not happy. At school, she stole, she told lies, she did not do what the teacher said, she hit and kicked the other children, she yelled all day. You could say that she's aggressive, she hit and kicked other children. To me, that would mean that you're an aggressive person, you're mean. If you're not listening to what the teacher says, maybe you're defiant, you're rude, you're disrespectful. These are all words that you can come up with, even though they are not specifically in our text. They are words that can be used to describe our character because of the evidence that is written in our book. There are a few more on that page. I haven't circled them all, but that's fine. This is just to give you some examples. And there's a couple more on those pages. We're actually going to stop looking at the character Pam once we get to this book, because from here on in, you'll actually notice that the character of Pam, this is her point in the story where she starts to change. But we're going to focus on the Pam that is at the beginning of the story for today's activity. So the next thing you need to do now, if you haven't done it while we've been working, is to go in and add in those words on our worksheet that describe our character of Pam. Like I said before, if you need to, pause the video and you can come back and play it again once you're up to the next bit. The next slide I'm about to go to will show you the answers or some examples of what words you could have included to describe our character Pam on that part of the sheet. And that's them there. So I've got the 5 that I could fit on my sheet, and then off to the side I've added another 4 that I came up with. These aren't all the words. You may have come up with some other ones, which is perfectly fine as well, and I look forward to seeing what words everyone came up with. The last part of today's lesson, based on this PowerPoint, is for you to go and draw a picture of the character, which was Pam. And that is this worksheet done. Now it's up to you guys. You are going to go and do this sheet again. You should have 2 copies of it. You are then going to go and do it for the character of Curly to the rescue. All right. Please make sure that when you finish your work that you either upload it onto the OneNote or you send a picture or a scanned in copy of your work to your teacher, because then we are able to mark it and give you some feedback to keep moving forward with your work. If you have any questions, please send us an email.